You've seen them, right? Those incredible AI agent demos? The ones where someone whips up a brilliant autonomous system in like a few minutes? It's pretty amazing, but it also hides a much, much bigger reality. So today, we're going to pull back that curtain on the whole invisible, high-stakes journey, from that flashy demo to a system you can actually bet your business on. Let's dive in. And this quote it nails it. I mean, the magic of a prototype is one thing, but building a system that won't break or go rogue or, rack up a massive bill, that's the real challenge. And bridging that gap, right, between the cool demo and a rock-solid production system, well, that's what we call the last mile. And trust me, it can be pretty treacherous. So what happens if you try to skip that last mile? Well, the consequences, they aren't just little technical glitches. We're talking about serious business failures. Imagine a customer service agent just giving away free products because it got tricked, or a user somehow getting access to a confidential database. These are the real-world risks when you deploy an agent without doing the hard work. And that brings us to a pretty staggering number. Get this. In practice, a full 80% of the work isn't even about making the agents smarter. Nope, it's spent on all the other stuff, the robust infrastructure, the security, the validation, everything you need to make it trustworthy. That's the real mountain to climb, not just the cool AI part. Okay, so how do we actually climb that mountain? Well, it doesn't just start with code. It starts with the foundation of any successful system, really. You need the right people, the right processes, and the right technology all working together perfectly. And that discipline, the thing that brings these three pillars together, that's what we call ops. You can think of it like the sweet spot, right in the middle of a Venn diagram, where people, processes, and technology all overlap. Because, let's be real, the best tech in the world is totally useless if you don't have the right team and the right processes to actually manage it. And that team, oh, it's a lot bigger than you might think. We're talking a full orchestra of specialists. It's not just your usual suspects like cloud and data engineers anymore. Now, you've got these critical new roles like prompt engineers who are basically crafting the agent's instructions, and AI engineers building out the whole backend. The big takeaway here isn't just how many roles there are, but how intensely they all have to collaborate to make it work. That's step one. All right, so once the team's in place, we've got to talk about the process. Before an agent even gets a whiff of a real user, it has to go through this series of super rigorous trials. We call it the gauntlet. It's all designed to prove its quality and its safety. This is where we start to build that trust in the system. And here's a really crucial point. Your traditional software tests, they just don't cut it here. See, unlike normal code, an agent can be functionally perfect, but behaviorally a total disaster. Choosing the wrong tool at the worst possible time. And that's exactly why we have to evaluate its behavioral quality. We're talking its reasoning, its choices. This quality gate is literally the first line of defense between a reliable agent and a really risky one. So this whole evaluation process gets built into what we call a CI/CD pipeline, which is basically an automated quality funnel. It works in three main phases. First up, you've got fast pre-merge checks that give developers instant feedback. Then, once a change gets the green light, it moves to a staging environment for way more intense testing. And only after it passes all of those tests does it face a final gated deployment to production. And yeah, that often includes a human giving the final okay. So you can see how it works. From a single code change on one side, the pipeline just automatically tests and validates it, building more and more confidence at each step. By the time it gets all the way through, you have this robust, proven thing that's ready for production. The goal here is simple, right? We're trading all that manual uncertainty for automated confidence. But even with all that amazing pre-launch testing, you're not just going to flip a switch and release it to 100% of your users. No way. You minimize risk by rolling it out gradually. We're talking about strategies like canary releases to a tiny percentage of users, or blue-green deployments that have an instant rollback option. It just makes sure that even that very final step is taken with extreme care. Okay, the agent is live. We did it. But the work is nowhere near over. In fact, a whole new challenge is just beginning. Now we have to manage an autonomous system that's out there in the wild, interacting with thousands of users in real time. And managing this, it requires a continuous operational loop. The best teams, they don't just deploy and walk away. Not at all. They're constantly in this cycle. Observe the agent's behavior, act to maintain stability, and then evolve the system based on what they're learning. Let's break that down. Okay, first step is observe. This is basically the agent's sensory system, and it's built on three pillars. You've got logs, which tell you what happened,
down to the nitty-gritty details. Then you have traces, which connect those logs to tell you why it happened. And finally, you have metrics, which are like the high-level report card telling you how well everything's doing.
Now, all that observation is useless if you don't do anything with it. That's where the act phase comes in. This is all about real-time intervention. Think of these as the system's reflexes. If a security threat pops up or a tool starts going haywire, you need these immediate levers, like a circuit breaker, to just shut it down and contain the problem instantly. And all of that leads to what I think is the most powerful phase, evolve. This is where you go from just putting out fires, tactical fixes, to making real strategic improvements. You take the data from production failures and you turn them into brand new test cases. You refine the prompts, you update the guardrails. What you're doing is creating this virtuous cycle where the agent actually gets smarter and safer with every single user interaction. So, once you've mastered a single agent, what's next? Well, the next frontier is an entire ecosystem of agents, all working together. But how do you get the fraud detection agent to talk to the customer support agent or the inventory agent to chat with the sales agent? You need a standardized language for them to communicate, right? And for that, we've got two key protocols. The first one, MCP, is like giving a command to a simple tool. Think, hey, fetch the weather. It's a specific one-off task. The second one, A2A, is for delegating to another smart agent. This is a much bigger request, like analyze our customer churn. It's really the difference between asking for a tool and delegating a complex goal. So here's how they work together in a layered system. You've got a main router agent that takes the user's request. It uses the A2A protocol, that's the complex goal one, to delegate the task to the right specialist agent. Then, that specialist agent uses the MCP protocol, the simple command one, to interact with its own specific tools and actually get the job done. Pretty neat. Okay, so when you put all of these pieces together, the people, that pre-production gauntlet, the whole in-production loop, and even the multi-agent ecosystem, what do you get? You get a new unified discipline. And this is the master plan. This complete agent ops lifecycle is the solution to that whole last mile problem we talked about at the very beginning. It brings everything together. You've got the development environments on one side, the automated pipelines in the middle, the production feedback loop on the other, and that governance layer holding it all together. This is the roadmap. This is how you get from a simple prototype to a genuinely trustworthy system. So what is agent ops really? It's the operational discipline you need to build, deploy, and manage trustworthy AI agents at scale. It's the whole set of practices that finally bridges that last mile from just a cool prototype to a system that creates real, dependable value for a business. Which brings us right back to the most important question you can possibly ask about your agent. It's not just about how intelligent it is. The real question, the one that this whole discipline of agent ops is designed to answer, is this. Your AI is smart. But is it trustworthy?